What happens when a killer virus accidentally gets unleashed from a British research facility and a small group of survivors from London are caught in a desperate struggle to protect themselves from those infected? Easy. You've got this film right here. Here's my review of 28 Days Later. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. I'm the Big D, and this time around, I bring to you a review of the 2002 post-apocalyptic horror flick 28 Days Later, originally released by Fox Searchlight, directed by Danny Boyle, and written by Alex Garland. Starring Cillian Murphy as a bicycle courier who awakens from a coma to discover that the accidental release of a highly contagious aggression-inducing virus has caused the breakdown of society. The film also has Naomie Harris, Christopher Eccleston, Megan Burns, and Brendan Gleeson. The film was originally released in 2002 in the UK on November 1st before it got released over a half a year later on June 27, 2003 in the US. Just a little over a half a year. This took inspiration from the Night of the Living Dead series and the novel The Day of the Triffids. This film eventually became a big hit, and while Boyle does not consider it a zombie film, the film is credited with reinvigorating the genre and influencing a revival in it a decade after its release, with its fast-running, infected, and character-driven drama. Now then, let's get into the story. A group of animal rights activists infiltrate a laboratory in Cambridge, which houses abnormally aggressive chimpanzees. Despite a scientist's warning that the chimpanzees are infected with a highly contagious rage virus, an activist frees one. It attacks her, and within seconds of exposure, she succumbs to the virus. She immediately attacks the others, and the virus spreads rapidly across Great Britain, resulting in total societal collapse. 28 days later, hence the title of the film, bicycle courier Jim, who had a traffic accident and fell into a coma before the outbreak, wakes in St. Thomas' Hospital in London to find it deserted. Leaving the hospital, Jim wanders the empty streets of London, discovers newspapers headlining a mass evacuation, and eventually enters a church and witnesses the aftermath of a massacre, presumably caused by the infected people. Infected humans appear and chase after Jim, but he is rescued by survivors Selena and Mark, who take him to their refuge in a street side shop. At Jim's request, the group travels on foot to his parents' house in Deptford, where he learns that they have died by suicide. When dusk settles in, the group decides to stay the night. Staying up, Jim reminisces family memories and lights a candle, drawing the infected neighbors to the house. Mark is bitten while fending them off. Before the infection can take hold, Selena kills him and tells Jim that if it happens to you, I'll do it in a heartbeat. Jim and Selena make their way up Balfron Tower after seeing a makeshift signal lamp consisting of slowly flashing string lights in a flat belonging to cab driver Frank and his young daughter Hannah. Frank plays them a military radio broadcast offering protection and salvation from infection at a blockade outside Manchester. Frank plans to take Hannah to the blockade, and the four agree to travel together. When the group reaches Manchester, they find the blockade deserted. Frank, frustrated, kicks a tall gate on which a dead body is balanced. A drop of blood from the corpse falls into Frank's eye, infecting him. As he warns the others to keep their distance, hidden soldiers appear and shoot him dead. The soldiers bring Jim, Hannah, and Selena to a heavily fortified country house under the command of Major Henry West, and treat their guests to a tour and banquet. However, the sanctuary turns out to be a ruse. West reveals to Jim that his broadcast was intended to lure female survivors into sexual slavery to maintain his troops' morale, giving them faith in a future where the human race survives. Jim and Sergeant Farrell refuse to go along with this scheme, so West orders them to be shot and imprisons them. While chained, Farrell tells Jim that the infection has not spread across the Atlantic and that Britain has been quarantined from the rest of the world. Two soldiers shoot Farrell and then argue, allowing Jim to escape into the woods. Now for the ending, you know the procedure. You must stop this video at once. Go to the description box below. Fast forward to the time below as I count down now. If you've seen this already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Jim notices a jet contrail in the sky, showing proof that the outside world is still active. After luring West away from the mansion with a siren and killing a soldier, he returns and frees Private Miller, an infected soldier kept chained up for observation, to infect and kill the remaining soldiers. One, Corporal Mitchell, attempts to abduct Selena, but Jim kills him with such savagery that Selena believes Jim to be infected. Preparing to kill him, she momentarily hesitates for longer than a heartbeat and recognizes him, and the two kiss. Jim, Selena, and Hannah attempt to escape in Frank's cab, but West, who has hidden in the backseat, shoots Jim in the stomach. Hannah retaliates by putting the cab in reverse, causing Mailer to burst through the rear window and drag West out before mauling him to death as the car drives away. Another 28 days later, Jim recovers at a remote cottage in Cumbria, where the infected are shown lying on the roads, dying of starvation. As a Hawker Hunter jet flies overhead, Jim, Selena, and Hannah unfurl a huge cloth banner spelling the word hello. The three survivors wave at the jet and wonder among themselves if the pilot had spotted them. End of story. So, what did I think of 28 Days Later? Now, it's been some time since I last saw the film. I've seen this, I think, maybe twice or three times long ago, but this is the first time I've seen it in years. I gotta say, this film was really freaky in ways, but I will say I actually did like it. After finally getting the chance to revisit this film, I've started to like it a little more. I mean, since after it recently got a brand new sequel this past summer in 28 years later, which I'll talk about that later in the week as soon as I'm done with the second film that followed this, which was 28 weeks later. I gotta say, this is pretty good. Now, I think I do agree with what Mr. Boyle says about this film. It isn't factually a zombie film by no means, but it feels like in a ways, but except a different way because these people are not becoming zombies. They're just infected by this virus and they go all ballistic and what have you. But I real, but I really did love how this film had some fast-paced bits and what have you, and how these people could become infected so fast. Definitely. Please stand by. Now, I'm going to say that I actually did like Mr. Boyle's direction of this film. It was really something, and the story ran by Alex Garland, who, of course, also went on to work on the sequels, as well as recently direct films like Civil War, and more recently co-directed the film Warfare, which also came out this past year. They both did a great job with this. This film became a big hit and went on to make 82 million worldwide on its $8 million budget. Anyway, the film got good reviews. It sets at 87% on Rotten Tomatoes, saying kinetically directed by Danny Boyle, the film is both a terrifying zombie movie and a sharp political allegory. I have to agree. While I actually would consider this to be 110% of a zombie film, but it's kind of close to it though. I mean, even though Danny Boyle said that it's not doesn't consider it a zombie movie, but as always, I'm understanding. Bravo awarded it the 100th spot on their list of the 100 scariest movie moments. in a 4-episode 2004 television series. Commentators explained that making the zombies move fast for the first time was a bright and effective idea. I have to agree with them on that. Well, a few years after its release in 2007, Stylist magazine named it the second best zombie movie of all time. The film ranked at number 456 in Empire's 2008 list of the 500 greatest movies of all time. Blade Discussion ranked the film 7th in their list of the 20 horror films of the decade, with the article saying zombie movie, political allegory, humanist drama. The film is all of those things and more, a genuine work of art by a director at the top of his game. What's so amazing about the film is the way it so expertly balances scenes of white knuckled hell for leather horror with moments of intimate beauty. Yeah. Rotten Tomatoes even listed, you know, the film on its 100 best zombie movies ranked by the Tomato Meter. This past July, the film was voted, well, one of the films voted for the Reader's Choice edition of the New York Times list of the 100 best movies of the 21st century, finishing at number 156. That same month, it ranked number 53 on Rolling Stone's list of the 100 best movies of the 21st century. It even got nominated for numerous awards, including at one for Saturn Award, a Empire Award, and many more. But anyway, the film became such a hit, even on physical media. Last year, it was revealed that Andrew McDonald, the producer of the film, had bought back the rights to the film from Fox and Disney, selling it to Sony through Columbia, who of course recently released 28 Years Later, which of course, though the sequel to this, 28 Weeks Later, which was largely produced by Fox, would remain with the former, which I have not seen that one yet, but I'm going to, and I will be reviewing that. Anyway, before that film came out, 28 years later, Sony announced a 4K remaster of the film to be released with a steelbook cover. Well, they were right. Sony does have the rights to the film now, so I recently watched it, and that's when I learned at least they still had the Fox Searchlight logo intact at the beginning as well. So that's good, and what have you. Now, and the film's score was composed by John Murphy, featuring electric guitar and atmospheric electronic production, featuring tracks from Brian Eno, Grande, and Blues States. I must admit, the score and soundtrack to this was absolutely incredible. There was a heavily edited version of the track East Hastings by the post rock band Godspeed You, Black Emperor, which appears in the film, but the track is excluded from its soundtrack though, because Boyle could only obtain the rights to use it in the film, which is understandable. I gotta say, it was really something. Also, a modified version of the song "In the House in a Heartbeat" was used as the character Big Danny's theme in the film Kick Ass. Now that's something. Anyway, this film, aside from its intensifying bits and bloodiness and what have you, and its great score, it does have a good cast. Cillian Murphy, before he even played Scarecrow, aka Dr. Jonathan Crane, in Batman Begins, which came out a couple of years after this was released in the US, played Jim. I've got to give him credit. This was what actually introduced us to him. Playing Selena is Naomie Harris, who I've seen in several films. Well, as recently she played Shriek in Venom, Let There Be Carnage. She was also Eve Moneypenny in Skyfall, Spectre, and No Time to Die as well. Playing Frank is Brendan Gleeson. This was after he had done Lake Placid. He'd later go on to play Mad Eye Moody in the Harry Potter franchise, as well as also appear in the Smurfs too. Hannah is played by Megan Burns, which this was only her second film after the film Liam, but she only did another one, which was a short film. So don't know too much. Anyway, playing Major West is Christopher Eccleston. Before he even started as the titular character in the rebooted Doctor Who, I gotta say, he was pretty good. Noah Huntley played Mark, was good. Stuart McQuarrie played Sergeant Farrell, good. Richie Hartnett as Corporal Mitchell, yeah. All these were really good and what have you. I have to give them props and credit for what they had to offer. So, with everything said, 28 Days Later is an awesome film. Wherever you consider it a zombie flick or not, it's still an amazing film. I think the story's really good, the direction's good, the score's good, the cast is good, so same with their characters. So overall, 28 Days Later is superb on and an awesome film. So would I recommend it? I'd say hell yeah, go for it. But what did you think of 28 Days Later? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. Stay tuned. Next time, I'll be bringing to you a review of Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. So if you like this, check out my reviews for these other two zombie films. Check out my review of Night of the Living Dead, the original, in the upper left-hand corner. The upper right-hand corner is my review of the original Dawn of the Dead. Or if you would like something else that involves a post-apocalyptic feel to it, check out my TV log special on The Last of Us, based on the video game series, and of course is a series on HBO. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc. Then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.